Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Democrats and Republicans alike. I am Barry Goldwater, the Republican nominee for the upcoming presidential election. I humbly accept the Republican nomination for the President of the United States. I would not have made it this far save for my wonderful wife Peggy and the rest of my wonderful family. Their endless support awes me every day, and I would also like to thank my fellow colleagues for their help. Together, our vision for success will not fail. Thank you to all the proud patriots who have served in different capacities of leadership and support of this great nation. Thank you to Pat, my running mate, for all your hard work and your vision that drives us forward. Thank you to Thurston Morton for assuming this great responsibility of chairman of this spectacular convention. To the citizens of this great nation, I ask you to listen with your hearts. We have been blessed to live in the greatest country to have ever existed on this planet. We have freedoms in abundance that only manifest in the dreams of the vast majority of individuals on this world. We are fortunate beyond all measure. We are the people that the good Lord has called on us to be stewards at this time of this mighty republic and keepers of the principles and standards that uphold the banner of freedom in this world. We stand against those ideologies that would lay low our land of freedom. We have risen to the pinnacle of greatness by use of proven measures that were instituted by our forefathers. Our great country of late has been plagued by problems that have been thrust upon us. It is my intention as President of these United States to face these problems head on and in a formidable manner that will eradicate all doubt. I encourage each American to strive for the best in all their endeavors in order to restore our nation to its former glory, the glory that it deserves. We, as citizens, must keep an eye on the bigger picture. The ideals that were instituted nearly 200 years ago by men that were forged in the battle for our freedom, they fought to bring to life liberty to this nation under the standard of government that would be limited by laws to ensure that its people would not suffer under the tyranny of its oppression. Yet powerful enough to establish laws that will keep at bay mob rule, socialist policies that take from the masses, and communist oppression that leaves its people destitute. I would like to take this opportunity to address three topics that are of the utmost importance: our national defense, government spending, and civil rights. First, my fellow citizens, I must ask you to look inside yourselves and reflect. Are we not from the most powerful nation in the world? We are. Have we let other nations walk over us and inject their values and views on us, on our children? We have. Why then, we must ask, have we not defended ourselves in the manner that our fellow countrymen have in the past? Why would we abandon our principles, prospects, and positions that our fathers, our brothers, sisters, and mothers that have fought so passionately and died for in the past, for us to have a better life than they did? Our personal freedom is the reason this nation was founded, and it is the very reason people still fight for it. Our national defense has crumbled under the administration which we will replace. Over the last 4 years, the administration has lied and distorted the truth and lost their way. The current leadership has talked and dodged the truth and talked some more and done nothing. They have spouted the words of freedom, but their failures and lies have only served to shame America. They have presented weakness and failure to the world that are manifest in the walls at Berlin. They show the failure at the Bay of Pigs and the loss of freedom in Laos and Vietnam. They have done nothing but incite our enemies to hold their resolve against our nation and to plot new aggressions toward us, reducing the safety of the citizenry. The corruption of our highest office has brought scandals, lifting the criminal element within our society to new heights of bravery. The protection of the citizenry against foreign aggression is one of the primary purposes of any government. It is one of the most basic functions. When the government cannot or does not fulfill its purpose, it cannot ask for the loyalty of its citizens. History shows that the failure of public officials to keep its citizens safe from bullies and brigands, it is only preparing the way for tyranny within its walls. My fellow Republicans, it is our purpose to resist concentrations of power that will attempt to force conformity and so-called equality. Equality, as it was understood by our founding fathers, can lead to liberty and freedom, which will unleash creativity and prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, when the concept of equality is misunderstood as it is by the current administration, it will lead first to conformity and ultimately despotism. For this reason, we must bear the standard of our forefathers and reject these false notions that have led us down this treacherous road to tyranny and slavery. We must further the cause of republicanism to make clear the perception of tyranny of man over man throughout the world. The war that we are fighting in Vietnam has been put in place by the administration to further an agenda. The president, who is supposed to be the commander-in-chief of our armed forces, refuses to let us win. The Secretary of Defense continues to perpetuate lies and misinform the American people. It has been during the years of Democratic leadership that over 1 billion people throughout the world have been cast into the captivity of communism. It is our duty to stand against tyranny that enslaves the human spirit, as does the communism regimes throughout the world. And this administration continues to coddle and deal with these soul-stealing governments that do nothing but to kill the life from their own people. My friends, I believe that the threat we face from such evil dominions will only grow more threatening as time goes by. The authors of communism boast that they will bury us and feed us small portions of socialism as they chip away at our freedoms. They say that in the near future our own people will beg for communist rule, that we will remove their liberty and consummate tyranny within these very walls. The standard-bearing Republicans must stand against this onslaught that will most surely knock on our doors if the current policies and administration stays in place. My fellow Republicans, I must now touch on the subject of government spending. Government spending is the bane of our society. The corrupt politicians and bureaucrats that line the hallways of our Capitol buildings have not been held accountable to the people in regard to maintaining a stable monetary and fiscal climate. They spend and they spend and they spend money that they do not have. They put our nation deeper and deeper into debt with no regard for the price that our children will have to pay. They retract a free and competitive economy that forces a retraction of inventiveness, creativity, and diversity within our own nation's workforce. We must define the accountability standards and role that constitute the different branches of our government at every level. If our country's debt is not put under control, the fallout within our nation will be incomprehensible. We will see the likes of depression which this country has never seen. My fellow Republicans, we must hold our government fiscally responsible. Our Republican cause is to keep our people free and to light the torch of liberty and freedom throughout the world. Civil rights. This topic is perhaps one of the most controversial issues to sweep the nation, and in truth, it need not be. Many men will tell you, and I'm sure you've heard, that I voted against the Civil Rights Act of 1964. However, the view you have already created in your mind is not the one I hold to be true. As a steadfast supporter of the 10th Amendment, the issues of segregation and discrimination belong to the states. It is not within the federal government's legal jurisdiction to interfere with the issues that belong to the states and the issues that affect the individual privacy of the people. With the national government overstepping its boundaries into the states' rights, what is to stop them from doing it tomorrow? Today, they take away your freedom to choose. Tomorrow, they take something else, and then another one, and then another one. Rather quickly, they take all your freedom and turn our country into the thing we hate the most. Rather quickly, we are turned into a communistic country. So today, I fight for our freedom. I fight for the rights of individual states, and I stand for protecting the freedom of the common man. As a matter of principle, I voted against the Civil Rights Act, of which I have no remorse. This fight will not be won overnight. It is a trying time for our country, and I promise that once I'm elected, the power will be given back to the people just as our founding fathers intended it to be. Without the freedoms and personal liberties entitled to the states and citizens to decide for themselves, our country would not be the great nation it is today with room for improvement. Change your choice, change America. Vote for me, Barry Goldwater, in the upcoming election.